What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Zeb, your everyday life coach, and I provide you with tools for everyday living so that you can transform tomorrow today. I am so excited you have tuned into this video to learn about the 28-day self-concept challenge. My goal for this challenge is that by the end of these 28 days, that you will be able to transform your own life into the very life that you've always imagined it could be. And so I want to take this video, I really want to take my time to explain the purpose of the challenge. And then I want to go through exact steps, details that you're going to take for the next 28 days that will be very helpful for you in ensuring that this challenge is meaningful and worthwhile in changing your life and shifting your life for the better. Listen, before I get into it, I want you to make sure you like this video if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I have taken a break from YouTube. I hadn't recorded a YouTube video, I don't know, in at least maybe 5-6 months. It's been a long time. But I'm glad to use the challenge to revive the YouTube channel. And I'm grateful to be here with you on today. So let's talk about the 28-day self-concept challenge and really how this came to be. And no fancy edits. I'm made up in my mind I'm doing this on one take because I really want this challenge to be as authentic an experience for you as it was for me. And so you're not going to edit. We're going to put some things on the screen so you can see, but I'm not re-recording this. This is what you're going to get, and we're going to describe this, and you're going to really be glad that we did this way. So the end of 2020 was really a very challenging year for me and bleeding over into 2021. I had so many things going on in my life personally that really began to challenge me from a depression standpoint, from an anxiety standpoint, from a stress standpoint. And I really went through about a period of I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 months where I was just trying to figure it out. This was the first time that I had started seeing a therapist. My therapist lives in Charlotte, an awesome lady. And first time seeing a therapist, and those were great sessions. She did a lot to kind of help me get some things back into perspective concerning my life. But one thing that I noticed after seeing her a couple of times was that while, seeing a therapist is great, and I highly recommend it, by the way, especially a good one, one of the things that I noticed is that the way to see results in your life is by applying work, right? My therapist is awesome. I gave great insight, advice, very practical advice, which is why I think she and I really just clicked. I love practicality. And, but one of the things I just, again, noticed is that, this is great advice, but things are kind of staying the same. So what's the problem? Because what she's saying isn't wrong. What she's diagnosed concerning my life and my situation wasn't wrong. So why aren't I seeing changes? And the answer was simple, and that is because you have to be willing to do the work. And so I want to start this here because I think starting the challenge with this point is critical. I need you to commit to me right now for the next 28 days that you're going to be willing to put in the work. Research says that habits change on average in 20 to 30 days, right? So it takes about 20 to 30 days for a habit to change. And so if you would commit the next 28 days and say, Dr. Zeb, I'm willing to put in the work. I'm willing to use this month to go on this journey, put in the work to make my life better today. I'm telling you, if you will put in the work, you're going to see some tremendous results. And I'm just excited to be here along with you as a part of this journey. But I can't stress this enough. You've got to put in the work, all right? You've got to do this and not just do it once. You got to do it every day. And we're going to walk through what you'll be doing in just a second. So, I was I went out of the country 3 or 4 times last year, vacationing, and I can't remember. It may have been my first trip. I think it was my first trip. I was heading to Punta Cana, I believe. And on my way there, I was on the plane, and it hit me. I was thinking about different things that she was talking to me about, my therapist. And And then it hit me, wait a minute, you know, she gave me great advice, but I need to become what she gave me, right? That's the thing that came around. I need to become what she gave me. And so I sat down with my journal. I'm going to talk about that in a second. And I said, what are the traits? I can't say I started at 14. I said, what are the traits that if I make improvements in these areas based on the counseling I've received, based on the journaling and the self-work I've been putting in, what are the traits I can work on right now that can completely shift my life, right? Completely shift my mood, completely shift my energy, completely shift my spirit. And so I sat down and started writing. I'm writing on the plane and writing and writing and writing. And as a result, came up with, ironically, 14 traits that if you work on these traits in your life, I'm telling you, it will change your energy and spirit at the end of this challenge, if not before. You will see, in fact, within the first week, you're going to start seeing results because applying the work to these traits, and I have them in a certain order for a reason, applying the work to these traits will really begin to change not only how you feel about yourself, but frankly, how you see yourself. And that's what self-concept is all about. You know, I kind of skipped by that, but let's just deal with that for 30 seconds. Self-concept simply means, how do I view me? How do I see me? And many people struggle with anxiety. Why? Because they see themselves the wrong way. They struggle with depression. Why? Because they see themselves the wrong way. They struggle with confidence. Why? Because they see themselves the wrong way. When you want to fix your life and fix how you feel about life, you should not necessarily pursue changing things in your life as much as you should initially begin to pursue changing your own life, right? Changing your own perspective, changing how you see your own life. And so this self-concept challenge is really about changing your concept about you. Because when you change your concept about you, then all of a sudden that changed concept about you impacts how you see the world around you. And people really see the world in a funky way because they don't see themselves the right way, right? And our perspectives, I think I read this somewhere, our perspectives about the world around us are really only as clear as our perspective about us. And this is what self-concept is about. So I'm sitting there, I'm writing. Self-concept didn't even come to me at the time. I wrote down 14 traits and I said, listen, I'm going to take 28 days, 2 days apiece on each of these traits. And I'm going to sit down and I'm going to work on them. I'm going to define them. I'm going to, come up with some practical ways I can practice them in my life. And came up with a formula that changed my life over those 28 days, frankly, for the rest of my life. And I want to share that with you on this self-concept challenge. Again, had no idea that would turn into this, but it's so odd that when you really work on yourself and apply yourself to working on yourself, things that happen in your life are never accidental. And so we're going to deal with this. So let's get into it. Now, before we talk about what you're going to do every single day, right? We've defined self-concept, told you a little bit about my journey and how I got here, how this, working on my self-concept really shifted my energy and how I saw myself and how I, renewed the way I saw my purpose. Just really did a lot for me personally. I want to give you the things that you're going to need before we dive into this. So, one, you're going to need a journal. I want you to get a journal, and I have my notes here. And the reason I do, and forgive the tape, the reason I have the tape here is because I've worn this journal out. I should have brought my other journal in here, but that's okay. I've worn this journal out, but this is an unlined journal, right? So it's just all white paper. And that kind of journal will work for you if you want to use that. But I would prefer you get a journal that is lined and that is dated, all right? Preferably marked with dates, the months going across in the days of each month, right? On each page. That way you can mark the day that you're on. If you ever want to go back and mark a special day, you can do that. But you don't have to have that. In this online journal, I have a lot of online journals because I like to freely write. and I draw diagrams sometimes, and sometimes images, diagrams of different concepts come to me, and I sketch in this unmarked sketch journal. And so you can write in those as well. And if that works for you, do that. But I did this challenge, and I should have brought that notebook. I did this challenge in a journal that was a date journal, right? That had the months and the days, that was lined, okay? But either way, get your journal. You're gonna need to add that. I'm gonna need you to dedicate to me at least 30 minutes a day, okay? At least 30 minutes a day. And you can do this at any time of the day that you want to. I will tell you personally, doing it early in the morning worked best for me, because doing it early in the morning, and you'll see why when I talk about the things you're going to do every day, doing it early in the morning really helped to set my tone for the day, right? It really helped to set expectation for the day. And I would imagine you could probably do this challenge late at night, or if you work a different schedule where you're working, say third shift, and you're working early in the morning, you have to come home and sleep, and then you want to try it later on in the day. I guess that can work. You mean you just need to adjust a few parts of the challenge. But for me, it worked best when I was getting up in the morning, and I get up at 4:40 every morning. Right after I worked out, would grab my journal. After I worked out, I would meditate, then grab my journal, and then get into this challenge, and it worked great there, okay? So you're gonna need a journal. You're gonna need 30 minutes a day, and preferably in the morning when you wake up. So you may have to wake up a little bit earlier to get to this, but I want you to do it. Now, again, you're gonna focus on 14 words, and I'm not gonna pre-give you the words. I'm gonna make you wait on the words, right? Unless, this challenge is all the way over. If you're looking at this video and you just binge watch it, right? And you just watch all 28 days. And hey, if you wanna do it that way, it's fine, but you're not gonna see the same kind of results if you just watch all 28 days worth of this challenge at once. You really need to dedicate your time to the amount of time that it takes to create change. Again, research says 20 to 30 days is how long it takes for a habit to be established, for a habit to be broken. And so I really don't want you to cheat, all right? And I know some of you are gonna cheat, but I really don't want you to cheat and go ahead and watch the whole thing and then try to do this thing and say, hey, Dr. Zeb, I finished in a day, where's the change? Not gonna work like that, okay? So take your time, go through the days. Now, but you're gonna focus on 14 words. You're gonna have one word every 2 days, right? You're gonna have one word every 2 days. So technically, on every odd day, you're gonna get a new word. Right? And I don't wanna make this too technical. My nerd brain is turning now. But on every odd day, you're gonna get a word. And on every even day, you're going to practice that word, or you're gonna, on even days, you're going to, show how you are working on that word, right? So day one is more about understanding the word, how the word applies to your life. Day two is more about additional thoughts you may have about the word and a reflection on the word. And I'm gonna break down exactly what you need to do step by step in just 1 second, okay? And you're gonna do this, and on day 28, you will have gone through 14 words, right? One new word every other day, spending 2 days on each word. And I'm telling you, you're gonna see your life different, okay? So here's the point of the whole exercise. Through these 28 days, you are going to define, describe, and become who you intend to be, okay? You're going to define, describe, and become who you intend to be. And that's what the self-concept challenge is. Now, I'm gonna grab my journal here because I had to really script it out. I've never really scripted out this challenge. It hit me about 2 weeks ago. And Zeb, you really need to share this with people who are going through challenges in their lives and give them the prescription that worked for you. I do a lot of coaching and counseling, obviously, and work with a lot of clients who struggle with depression, who struggle with anxiety, who struggle with low self-esteem, who struggle with confidence issues, and have already given them this challenge, and they have seen tremendous results because they've seen results in the ways in which they see themselves. And so I want to share this with you, and we're going to walk through it. Now, here's what's going to work. So here are the steps. Step one, and I'm going through all of this. Step one, every single day, I need you to come to this video or this channel, this YouTube channel, and I need you to watch the video for the word of the day, right? That's every single day. So that means for 28 days, before you get into writing and recording things in the journal that I'm going to explain to you, I need you to come to this channel. That's why, hitting that little bell notification icon, if you haven't done that already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon. That's why that's important, because once the video posts, you will get a notification to your phone or other device. Just click on it, go ahead and watch the video. And I'm going to do this early in the morning. I'm going to probably preset this to go off anywhere between 4:30 and 5 in the morning. That's for those of you that are early risers like me. I don't want to assume I'm the only one. But for those of you that are early risers like me, I want to set it early. So if you do get up and work out early, if you have to go to work early, if you have other things that you have to do early, you have it there and you have what you need to set your day. All right. So again, the first thing you want to do, step one, is watch the video for your word of the day. All right. And again, you're going to get a new word on every odd day, and you're going to get an opportunity to express your feelings about that word on every even day. I'm going to explain it. I know it sounds crazy. I'm telling you it works. All right. Now, so that's number one. You're going to watch the video. Number two, in your journal at the top, I need you to write this specifically. I need you to write, and I'm going to put this on the screen. I need you to write day and then whatever day it is, right? So let's use for an example, day one, right? You're going to write day one, you're going to write a colon, and then you're going to write the focus word for the day, all right? So your very first word, I'll tell you what it is. I'll go ahead and spill the beans. Your very first word is going to be patient, all right? So at the top of your journal, and I should have brought my other journal, but y'all, I'm not re-recording this video. This is going to be off the cuff. It's going to be straight from the heart because I really want this to be impactful for you. Day one, colon, patient. You're going to put that at the top of your journal, and you could probably put it in the top upper left-hand corner. And there's a method behind this madness, okay? To the top, that's step number two, right? So you're going to write whatever day. If it's day 10 and we're on a different word, it's going to be day 10, colon, that word. That tells you what day we're on. And again, if you don't have a lined or dated journal, you can write the date of that day there so you know what day it is and you can keep up with it. All right, so that's step two. Now, step three, this is big. You're going to stop there. That's all you're going to write in the upper left-hand corner. You're going to go to the far right-hand corner of the page, not all the way, but let's just say from the middle point to the far right of the page. And you're going to write 5 things I'm grateful for. All right, I want you to write out that phrase, 5 things I'm grateful for. And then under that, I want you to list 5 bullets, and I want you to write 5 things you're grateful for. Now, this is so critical. One of the things that I figured out, and I wish I would have learned, if I would have learned this years ago, my life would have changed. It's changing, and so many great, awesome things are happening for me right now. But man, this would have happened way sooner if I'd have figured this thing out. Gratitude is the key to seeing change in your life. Don't ever forget it. In fact, I may do a whole series on gratitude here on my YouTube channel because understanding gratitude has really opened the floodgates for great things to happen for me. I've discovered that sometimes we don't get good things happening to us or coming to our lives or into our lives because we're not grateful for the things that have already happened. We're not grateful for the things we already have. We're not grateful for the opportunities we've already experienced. And so gratitude is so powerful because gratitude says, listen, before I work on this day or this word of the day for this day, I'm going to list 5 things every morning that I'm grateful for. Now, you don't have to write a dissertation, a paragraph. Again, I said 5 lines, bullets or 5 lines, bullet, 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 right? And this can be anywhere from 3 to 5 words or 1 word. You can just say health if you want, or you can say my health and my well-being. You can say my finances and new career, whatever you're grateful for that you have. You can put my children, you can put their names. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It should be something that frankly shouldn't take more than 2 minutes to write down. All right. But we want to do this because if you start every single day with a spirit or attitude of gratitude, it sets the tone. It sets the tone for you to be positioned to receive great things into your life. All right. And again, can't say it enough. Many people have blockers in their life. Many things aren't happening great in your life because you don't take the opportunity every single day to just simply be grateful, right? To just simply have an attitude of gratefulness. All right. So you're going to write 5 things that you're grateful for. This is the 3rd thing that you're going to do. All right. Now, Number 4, you're going to go back to the left side of the page under where you wrote day 1 patient, and you're going to be on the first line. And so you may not be able to go all the way across because you have the 5 things that you're grateful for on the right side. And that's okay. Just write as far as you can until you can get under that, and then you can go all the way across the page. But number 4, this is what you want to do. You want to, in 3 to 4 bullets max, I want you to define what the word of the day means to you. All right? I want you to define what the word of the day means to you. So day 1's word is patient. So you're going to take 3, no more than 4 bullets. I don't want you to find a dictionary. This ain't a quiz. You're not testing. But I want you in your own words to define what patient means to you. When you think of the word patient, what does that mean to you? What does that look like to you? What does a patient person look like to you? Right? What does an ultimate patient person look like to you? How would you act? How would you behave? How would you live? How would you respond? How would you think? How would you feel if you were patient? Right? 3 to 4 bullets. I want you to define it. Okay. Step 5. Right under that, I want you to write 3 ways the word of the day is going to help you. So you will say 3 ways patience will help me. Okay. Draw a line under it, semicolon, 3 bullets. Okay. 3 ways patience will help me. So you've defined the word with 3 or 4 bullets in your own words. And then under that, you're going to write 3 ways having patience, or 3 ways being patient will help me. 3 bullets. Okay. All right. You're going to write that there. After you do that, step number 6, you're going to write a brief statement. Again, folks, you ain't doing a dissertation. You ain't doing an essay. This isn't a 500 words or less deal. Just a brief statement on why that word is important. Okay? I want you to write a brief statement on why that word is important. So again, patient is the first word. So you're going to say, why is being patient important? Colon. And then no more than 3 or 4 lines. You're going to describe in your own words why you believe being patient is important. Why is this critical? Because it's one thing to say that we need to be patient. It's another thing to come into full understanding of why it is that we are patient. Okay? And so we come into a better understanding of our self-concept, or a better understanding of how we see ourselves, by understanding why we need to see ourselves in a certain way, i.e., why we need to see ourselves as patient, why we need to see ourselves as the other 13 words in the challenge. Okay? So again, you're going to write a brief statement. I'm reading it right off my notes here in this journal. You're going to write a brief statement that states why being patient, or whatever that word is that we're on, a brief statement of why being that word is important. All right? That's step 6. Step 7, I'm moving. After step 6, and again, 3 to 4 lines after that statement, step number 7, I want you to list 3 clear ways you will work to become that word. I want you to write 3 clear ways you will work to become that word. Right? So the first word of the day is going to be patient. So you're going to write 3 ways I will work to become patient. Not more patient, not less patient. Just leave more or less those words off. Just say patient. 3 ways I will work to become patient. Bullet. You're going to describe it. Every day I will focus on not skipping the line in the grocery store and waiting like everybody else. Right? I'm just making this up. Right? But I want you to write 3 practical ways that you will work to become that word. Right? To become patient. To become one of the other 13 words. Okay? All right, so you want to do that. And then the last thing you want to do for day 1, or the odd days of the challenge, right? When you get a new word, the last thing you want to do for the odd days of the challenge is this. You want to write 1 today statement. I want to explain this quickly because I want to hurry up this video. It's getting a little long-winded, but this is very important. You want to write 1 today statement. What's a today statement? A today statement is an I will statement that sets your intentions for the day. A today statement is an I will statement that sets your intentions for the day. So at the conclusion of what you've written, how you define the word, how you've made the word applicable to you, how you've described how you're going to become the word, at the bottom, you're going to say today, colon. And then you're going to say, I will be the best version of me by attempting to be patient at all times, comma. kind and considerate to others, comma, and a source of positive energy in all spaces, period. Okay? That's all you're going to do. It's a today statement that sets your intentions for the day as it relates to how you intend your day to go. All right? So it's called an I will statement. All right? And we're talking future tense in the present when we say I will. All right? And so you're going to write a today statement and then you're done. All right? You don't have to write more than that. There were days on the challenge where I wrote a whole lot more than that. All right? But that's the bare bones of the odd days. Remember, the odd days are when you get a new word. The even days are when you further dive into the words, okay? All right, but on the odd days, you don't have to go further than this point. You can stay there. And I want to also say that for each day, you don't have to just commit to writing one page. If you want to write more, that's totally okay, especially on the even days. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. But on the odd days, if you just do those things, it's going to take you, especially for probably a week, I'd say anywhere from 5 to 7 days. It's going to take you anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes to do this, especially as you just get used to it. Once you get used to it, once I got in the flow of this challenge, and I didn't even know it was a challenge at the time, it was just something I created to better help me. Once I got in the flow, I was able to knock this out in like 10, 15 minutes. All right. And you're going to see that's going to happen to you. The time is going to decrease tremendously because you're going to already be in the mode of gratitude. You're going to know what you're thankful for. You're going to already be thinking about the word that has been presented to you, and you're going to be able to better communicate what that word means to you and how you intend to become that word. So it's going to get easier in time. All right. Now, even days, really quickly. On the even days, starting on day 2. So patient is our first word. On day 2, the very first thing you want to do is repeat step number 1 on your odd days. You want to watch the YouTube video. All right. So on the even days, I'm going to have another message about patience. Or being patient. And it's going to be a motivational message. It'll be no more than 5 minutes, right? I want to get out of your way, but I want to use this as a means to motivate you, to encourage you regarding that word, patient. I may even provide some type of analogy to help you better and deeply more understand the word patient, all right? So I want you to watch the video for your morning motivation on the word. That's step 1. This is the even day. Step 2, you want to indicate the day it is and the word, right? So it will be day 2, patient. All right. Day 2, patient. Step 3, you guessed it. You want to go to the right side of the paper. You want to write 5 things I'm grateful for. You want to put 5 bullets under that, and you want to write 5 things that you're grateful for. All right. So those first 3 steps on the even days look just like the first 3 steps on the odd days. All right. That's how we're going to start. Now, step number 4 is where it gets different. Right. We only got 5 steps on the even days. Step number 4 is where it gets different. On step 4, you want to record any open thoughts regarding the word, all right? This includes thoughts, revelations, new personal goals, ideas concerning patient. Being patient, you may have on day 1 thought about just different scenarios where you weren't very patient and how that impacted the way you saw yourself. How that impacted the way you handled others, how that impacted the way you treated others. So after you've done steps 1 through 3, you may then begin to just record some bullet points about just different scenarios where you failed in being patient and how you plan about doing it better, right? The even days of the challenge is really all about application, all right? The even days of the challenge is really all about application. I know that this is a word that I need to work on that will help me better see how I see myself. On day 2, or the even days, I'm going to talk about how I can continue to apply this word. Maybe I'll even mention in my journal how I failed at this word in the past, but how I will do better in the future, all right? But it's all about application. And I want you to take a moment on day 2 to make sure you write that application. Again, you're going to record your thoughts, any ideas, any revelations. And I'm telling you, you're going to get a lot of revelations. When you're working on some of these words, you're going to be working during the day or doing whatever you're doing during the day, and it's going to hit you. Man, I really was not a very patient guy. Or I really wasn't a very patient girl. I really missed a lot of opportunities to display patience. And as a result, it caused these situations to be bad, or it caused these relationships to be bad, or it caused people to see me the wrong way. It caused me to see situations the wrong way. You're going to get a lot of revelations, so you want to keep your journal nearby. Again, you can write more on each day. You don't have to wait to day 2 to write your revelation. This thing is going to get so powerful for you that you should be having multiple pages in your journal on each day where you're writing, because different ideas are going to come to you regarding that word and how you can better improve your life by becoming that word. All right. So step 4 is a wide open book, right? There's no length limit. There's no certain amount of bullets. You're going to just record on day 2 before you get into your morning, right? Right. If you're going to do this early in the morning, we're still staying in that 25, 30 minute range max until you really get the hang of this. You're going to just record your open thoughts regarding the word, how you're going to apply that word to your life, any revelations you've had concerning that word, any special ideas you've had concerning that word, and you want to do that there, okay? And here's the 5th and final thing. On your even days, to close out the word, right? Because remember, the first word is patient. So on day 1, we're going to define it. We're going to do all those things we talked about on the odd days. Day 2, you're going to further talk about different revelations of how you can become more patient. At the end, right, as we're concluding that day, the very last note that you want to try to put on that day is a reflection. You literally want to write the word reflection, colon, and then you want to write just a small paragraph as a reflection of what you received from working on that word. All right. And I'll tell you, the reflection part is the most is the most powerful part for me, because when I flipped through the journal, I was flipping through it this morning. When I flipped through that journal that I used for this challenge. Oh, and by the way, try to just use a journal only for this challenge, right? Don't try to put this challenge in another journal. Try to just use one journal or dedicate one journal only to this challenge, right? Even if you don't use all the pages, because you'll continue to write in this and continue to read it and study it as time goes on. Anyway, when I was reading my reflections, they were powerful because you could tell that I had grown. Like I was saying things like, my relationships in these spaces will be much better when I work on this word. I recognized that I wasn't a very patient guy, that I always had to have things my way, when I wanted them, how I wanted them. And those revelations were really, and those reflections were really eye-opening. If you take that information and take it in, absorb that information, what you're going to be doing is building a framework for improving your life. All right. So I know this sounds like a lot. I know it does. Right. But I don't care if you need to go back, rewind this video and watch it again and write down the steps. In fact, I would highly encourage that. If you've never done anything like this before, this is a very unique way of approaching self-concept. But I'm telling you, it works. If you've never done self-concept before, or if you have done it before and this is just way too complicated, because I can be a little bit of a nerd, just rewind the tape to where I started with the instructions and go back and replay it. And in your journal in the beginning, write down the details. All right. Write down the instructions so you'll have it. And then get ready on February the 1st for your life to completely change. Remember, you get a new word on every odd day, starting with the 1st. And every even day is an opportunity to detail how that word has impacted you, how it will impact you, and then add a reflection on what you've gained from working on that word for 2 days. All right. And you're going to see, I promise you, you're going to see crazy, crazy results. Do me a favor. I don't care if you're watching this video and we're on day 10 of the journey and you're just joining. I want you to jump right in. Jump in, catch up, start where you are. Don't worry about trying to fast forward through the days. Start on day 1 when it is your day 1. Again, don't try to do multiple days in a day. Take it day by day by day. I need you to give me 28 days. And I promise you, if you give me 28 days, your life is going to change. I need you to share this video. Share it with somebody who's battling depression. Share it with somebody who has questioned their own self-worth, or their confidence has been shattered because of things that they've gone through in their life. Share it with somebody who doesn't feel worthy to have the life that they deserve, that doesn't feel worthy to be able to do great things in their life. I want you to share it with people who struggle with the way they see themselves. And I'm telling you, you're going to see great results. All right, y'all, get ready. Get that journal. Go ahead and get, rewind this tape. Make sure you map out the steps. We're going to walk through this and we're going to kick this off February the 1st in just 2 days. And I can't wait to see you there. Listen, you got 2 jobs. I want you to be better today than what you were yesterday. And 2, don't forget what I told you.